Doe normaal. Now before we begin this video, I want to make it clear that the audio quality is a bit off. Excuse me for that. Doe normaal. Welcome back to the channel everybody, and if you're new to my channel, I'm your host Mr. Kensei, and let's begin with this video. Now, we will talking today about Mr. Swolenormous aka Papa Swolio. Now, I like this guy and I like this guy a lot. And I've been following him since he had 12k of subscribers, and he has grown a lot since that time. Now, what I noticed here, and it's not something I'm gonna hate Mr. Swolio for, but I need to criticize him for, is that his lack of knowledge in regards of fasting is something that he shouldn't be sharing in a video. Now, put it this way. Everybody can make mistakes. You can have some of, let's say, the Broscience, and later on think, okay, this is not how it really was, so let me correct myself. But since he hasn't made a video about that, and maybe wasn't criticized for his lack of knowledge in regards to fasting, I just decided to make a video myself about it, so he can know why fasting really is good and why dry fasting and water fasting is completely safe as long as you do it under medical supervision. Never start a fasting period if you have no experience and without medical supervision of somebody that has experience with fasting, because we do have medical experts but they have no knowledge and no experience with fasting, so those people will be no help to you. Anyways, let me begin and start to criticize his reaction towards fasting, and whatever he has between Trisha, Paytas and himself, that is something between him and her, and he can solve that, whatever, or she, doesn't matter. Let me begin.
Bullshit. And this is the video, and the caption on this video is about her water fast. Now I'll read what she wrote and then I'll show you a little bit of the clip and talk about why this is BS and why this is actually very dangerous for a lot of impressionable people that might think that this is not just possible but a good idea to pursue. Trisha.
Now let me pause it before you continue. Fasting is a very good idea. Like I said, you need to do it under medical supervision. Do not fast without medical supervision that has experience with fasting. Because once you start fasting, you guys will notice on long term that you have a big change inside of your body. You no longer are dependent on, let me say it out loud, the medical industry, the pharmaceutical industry that has tons and tons and tons of stuff for you that is not beneficial for your health. Because, let me put it this way, people who are overweight, insulin sensitive, or not insulin sensitive, insulin resistant and diabetic, they get descriptions of metformin and eventually insulin, and over time their whole situation gets worse and worse, and eventually you guys notice they will have to surgically remove some of their toes or fingers or whatever because of the high blood sugar that is in their body. So fasting actually helps. Dry fasting in this regard helps even more, but like I said, always do it under medical supervision. Now, people who want to try this out, they should be trying this out, like I said, under medical supervision. But Mrs. Swolio, this is not BS and not dangerous. What is dangerous is your lack of knowledge, misleading people, making them think that fasting is horrible, that is bad, that is evil. But I'll let you continue.
Paytas dropped 15 pounds in 5 days. Wow. This is the
Not bad, not bad. I've seen people do better. I've done even better myself. But hey, not bad. If she wants to try out and get rid of 15 pounds in 5 days, hey, more power to her, right? I mean, same thing to you. If you wanted to try it out and you have done something like that and you would have had the same result or even better, hey, more power to you.
second time I did a water fast and I never felt better. More energy and a sharper mind. Not sharp enough, actually.
Well, I believe her, and not just to criticize you in this regard, but I believe her. Let me explain this in a, short and easy way. If you have a high blood sugar level, especially overweight people that do have high blood sugar level, it can mess up with your energy as well as the absorption of nutrition, because of course your body has high blood sugar levels, so you're not utilizing the energy in a proper way. So put it this way: when your blood sugar levels are high, you constantly feel tired and sluggish, right? So having lower blood sugar levels and a lower blood pressure because you reduced your body weight, it will make you have more energy. And brain fog is always, the majority by the way, not always, excuse me for that, but the majority of reasons people give why they have brain fog is because of their high blood sugar levels. People always that have a high carb diet complain about brain fog. So having a sharper mind is one of the results you get from fasting, because your blood sugar levels are being stable right now. Therefore, you get a better and a sharper mind.
Full video is up now on YouTube. It is not about looking better for me, it's about feeling better. And no, I didn't gain the weight back from the first water fast. It doesn't work like that. Well, it sure does. When you
No, 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 no. It does not work like that. Now, let me pause here. I do know where you're coming from, Mr. Swolio, and the first thing that comes up in my mind is people who haven't changed their dietary habits. Because if you come from a junk food diet, you had your whole life eating buttermilk biscuits, bottles of Dr. Pepper, eating KFC, McDonald's every day, and you started to fast and you return to your old habits, eating the same large amounts, then yes, you will regain all the weight back. However, why would you do that if you're sick and tired of being overweight, having a lack of energy, having unstable hormones, etc.? Why would you do that? I see here somebody that really wants to have her body weight as low as she possibly can get. See, let me put it this way. If I would reach my goal weight, I would not return to my old eating habits, because, to be honest, I did suffer from a lot of issues. So why would I go back suffering again if I can make a change for the best? You do not gain the weight back when you're back to a healthy and normal diet. That's common sense, and you're supposed to know that. If I'm going to end my fast whenever I reach my goal weight and start eating healthy, how can I gain all the weight back if I'm not consuming any of my old dietary garbage that I used to eat, like junk food and buttermilk biscuits and whatnot? That is something only a stupid person would do, because that person misses his old habits and does not want to learn from his mistakes. People who do not learn from their mistakes will not correct it properly, and therefore they will fall back. So I can understand where you're coming from, but it does not work that way if you do it the right way. Just be consequent.
drop water, which is what you're dropping if you're dropping 15 pounds in.
To be really honest, I don't think you're in a position to say that somebody dropped 15 pounds of water weight. I mean, you're not a specialist in that regard. So saying that somebody dropped 15 pounds because it's way too fast for your own likes, because the pharmaceutical industry indoctrinated in your brain telling you that dropping a pound or two per week is the right way to go, is something that you shouldn't be talking about. You do not have any kind of knowledge to know how much fat she lost or whatsoever. I do believe that it's a part water weight and a part fat, because once you're fasting and you don't consume anything, your body is forced to be in ketosis, therefore will grab your fat as a form of energy and get rid of all the toxins. But we will get to that point in a moment.
5 fucking days. Can we pause for a moment?
Okay, I paused you as well. The reason why I paused you is because you need to be interrupted due to your lack of knowledge. Now, I know how this is going. The only thing I'm going to hear now is 15 pounds in 5 days, water weight, etc. Fasting is bad. Now, there is not much more you say in this regard other than the fact that she may have manipulated her video, looking a bit thinner by stepping close to the camera when she was starting her water fast, and standing a bit further from the camera when she ended her fast. I'll give you some credit for that because I don't know anything about that, and that is between you and her. However, like I said, you don't have any knowledge, you don't possess any knowledge in regards to fasting, yet you have an opinion about something you have never tried, seen, or how whatsoever. Of course, you may have seen it in a way you want to see it, but not seeing it in how it should be seen. I mean, there are plenty of articles, there are plenty of people who fast, including me, that prove that fasting is good and you can lose your weight and you won't lose that much muscle. You can lose muscle, you can, but because of the high growth hormone, you will retain as much muscle as your body possibly can hold on to. So, let you continue, and then I'll wrap it up and talk about some of the articles that I have here prepared for you. And I also need to show a thing or two, and I also want to introduce you to Dr. Jason Fung, somebody who has way more experience than you do, who let people off their medication with fasting, of course intermittent fasting, but you get my point. Someone else, Snake Diet, who has a lot of subscribers and has a lot of experience with fasting, helping people getting rid of their issues, and bam, he does it.
And think about how much weight that is.
Well, it's not that much weight. It's around 7 kilograms. Because I'm from the Netherlands, we don't use pounds, we use kilograms. So it's not that much. It does look that much if she was close to, let's say, 15 or 14% body fat. Then yes, I would say that is a lot. And then I also would say, okay, how does she look like?
5 days. Proper weight loss, being body fat, is 1 to 2
Okay,
pounds.
here we go. See, here we go. 1 to 2 pounds per day on average. No, the only reason why you learned about this is because the pharmaceutical industry want to keep you sick as long as possible until you get healed by yourself. Because you cannot heal if you're gonna stay sick and return to your old eating habits. A lot of people who lose a pound per week or 2 pounds per week who are on metformin or insulin still remain sick and still are dependent on medicine, on medication. But if you're going to go on a fasting period, just like Dr. Jason Fung has done, that made people get off their medication, I will give this case report in the comment section. You guys can read it. You will see that he made people go off insulin and go off other medication. And they dropped a lot more weight than just 1 pound or 2 pounds per week on average. So something like that should be said to you. You cannot sprout nonsense. Like you said, it's dangerous. So in your case, it is dangerous. Let me use it against you. It's quite ironic, by the way.
Week, not 15 pounds in 5 fucking days.
Well, if she does it the right way under medical supervision, or if she has a lot more experience and does it without medical supervision, she can lose 15 pounds in 5 days. And there is nothing wrong with it. The only thing you see as wrong is because she has lost something that goes against what you have learned. I was just like you. When somebody told me fasting, the first thing I said, it's bad, you're going to end up in a box and you won't ever return, etc. blah blah blah. I've told people that you need to lose slowly because if you don't, something terrible will happen. But why would you live so long with high blood pressure and a high blood sugar level when you can reduce it a lot faster and getting rid of your problems a lot faster and then continue eating healthy. Why you don't think about this? Because let me say it. Why don't you think that this is being said because they cannot make money off people who fast? Something that you probably know if it was about another subject. However, because we're talking about fasting, all of a sudden it's not the case. So I leave that up to you, Mrs. Swolenormous. And if you want to reply to my video or criticize me, I'm all fine. I'll be more than happy to reply, and I'll be more than happy to show some more evidence why fasting is good.
If you're losing that much weight, it's just water weight, but it's all
Like I said, it's not just water weight. I do believe that it's some water weight. How much? I don't know. But I do believe that it's not more than fat. I think it's the other way around, that you lose some water weight and more fat. And here is the reason why. I'll show you. After that, I'll end it up because after that, you only talk about how bad it is and whatnot. You get my point. I mean, I checked all the whole video. So I'll wrap it up. Here, when we talk about dry fasting, Dr. Filanov has been doing something that nobody else has done. A great deal of research done on fasting comes from a Russian doctor named Dr. Filanov, who has supervised, here, as medical expert, that's supervising people, thousands of dry fasts, which often last up to 14 days. And here is somebody who says fasting is bad because someone dropped 15 pounds in 5 days. So something is wrong here when somebody who is not in a position to criticize fasting, criticizing actually indirectly someone's work that proves otherwise. His studies alone has popped the thought bubble that human cannot live more than 3 days without consuming water, and the longest dry fast on record was 18 days, not including the claims in the Bible such as Moses' 14 days dry fast. The reason for that is that the body actually is capable of producing its own water internally in the process of transmuting fats. In other words, your body can make its own water whenever you're dry fasting. And there is another thing. Here is something I want to show as well. This is something you can read later on. I will put the link in the comment section. Now, with that said, there is still a bit of dehydration that occurs in the body, especially the longer this is practiced. But this isn't necessarily a bad thing. When we decrease water content in the body, the pressure within our cells becomes greater than the pressure outside of the cells. As a result, this pressure causes the cells to leak their internal fluids into the external space between cells, which actually carries the toxins with them that would normally remain trapped inside the cells. This is often described as each cell becoming a furnace unto themselves, where each individual cell is manually releasing its toxins into the blood for removal, much quicker than a regular water fast. So Mr. Swole, tell me again how bad fasting is, and that's only pure water weight. Now, I would have believed that it's pure water weight if I was not, if I was as ignorant as the majority of people in regards to fasting, and if they only talked about dry fasting. However, you can see here that both water and dry fasting is recommended, and why it's good, and that dry fasting is even better than water fasting. So, I got some more articles I will show to you guys why fasting has a lot of health benefits and it's backed by science, as well as this article and this article. Why dry fasting more effective than any other kinds of body cleansing. And dry fasting is something I love to practice. It's hard, especially during the hot summer days, but during the cold days, during fall and winter, man, dry fasting is the easiest. Now, all I'm hearing from you, Mr. Swolio, is how bad fasting is. Mr. Fung, like I said, has helped people getting off their medication. So are you trying to tell me that with all these articles, etc., fasting is bad? Because it is not the way you have been indoctrinated? Why do you think fasting is deemed as bad by society? It's because the medical industry does not make money out of fasting. I repeat, the medical industry, the pharmaceutical industry that provides us with insulin and any kind of medication for each symptom, etc., that does not cause a healing of the core of the problem, that does not fix the core problem of your disease, but only treats the symptoms, does not make money off fasting. If you have some inflammation, they'll give you something. But when you dry fasting, you will no longer have inflammation. And it heals inflammation. How funny is it that whenever I hear people like you always have something to say about fasting in a negative way without knowing something about it. Now, of course, I won't be criticizing you for talking about, talking with this dude, Obese to Beast, aka John. This guy has been criticizing two people that have been fasting, and you had a collaboration with this guy on the Daily Swole podcast with John David Glaude. Now, I'm not knocking you off for talking to him or whatsoever, but this dude did negatively talk about fasting 2 times. On John and on the pro gamer Jay. Now, of course, he was kind of, let's say, okay, kind of mild in his reaction towards John, the fasting fat man, the one I'm subscribed to as well. But this guy was having the same reaction towards Jay when he was fasting for 28 days straight. There is even a study done on an obese man that fasted for over a year. And there are plenty of other people who fasted for over 40 or 50 days. Yet they are fine. And here you guys talking about fasting in a negative way. Now, like I said, I don't hate any of y'all. I don't hate John, and I don't hate you at all. I'm not subscribed to Obese Beast because I don't like his content. Nothing personally, but I don't like his content. But I am subscribed to you and will stay subscribed to you because I do like your content. However, this needs to be said, and I would like to recommend something. First of all, I want to share this video that I will put in the comment section, as well as this video from Edward V. Edward V talks about Dr. Jason Fung describes type 2 diabetes using fasting, a new pilot study. And I want you to check out this guy, Cole Robinson, aka Snake Diet. This guy is awesome. And thanks to him, I've restarted the fasting since a long time ago, and I'm trying to continue it. So, having that said, I'm curious if you're going to reply to my video, and if you're going to criticize me, please do. If you have some evidence, please give it to me. I'll be more than happy to read it. And if you want to talk to me about it, I'm more than happy to talk about it. Anyways, that's it for my video today. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like it, give it a thumbs down. Share my video, and if you're new to my channel, subscribe to it and turn on notifications. And as for always, do normal.